Okay, so yesterday we were doing these different types of defuzzification methods. All of you can see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So yesterday we finished till here mean max membership. Again, I'll just describe in brief. So we saw about fudgification first. Okay, different types of fudgification method. So fudgification methods is what to convert a crisp value to a fuzzy value. Okay, and I told you to remember that I rangi word so that you will be able to write all the different types of fudgification methods. Okay, like it was intuition, inference, right, angular, then neural network, so genetic algorithm, all those are different types of you should remember and just write one paragraph about that. And then we had these defudgification methods. So defudgification method where we convert fuzzy value to a crisp value again, right? And why we require that? Because in many of the application where we require on the crisp value some control kind of mechanism, then at that particular time the words like very close, very fast, too old, all these words will not going to satisfy, right? We want some crisp value so that the controller will work on on that particular value. So we require a fuzzy value to be converted to a crisp value. So we are having these different types of defuzzification methods. So we described about max membership principle. Before that, I told you how to take the superimposed image. I mean how to combine both the graphs. So we took two input images, right? And then so these were two input images. I'll just show you. Okay. Yeah. So these two were the input images, and then we try to find out this output image. Okay, because some of the methods which work on directly on the output image, and few methods will work on the input images, right? So how to find this superimpose so that we will combine these two and we will take the outer boundaries, right? So you can directly draw both the images together. I told you how to draw it one below the other on your notebook properly and make all these margins properly equal to all the graphs. Okay, and then you can draw one below the other, and then final graph you can draw by joining both the graphs together and just select the outer boundary, so it will be a superimposed graph. And then we try to find out different methods, and in all the methods we work on this particular diagram. Okay, only in one method where we took the parallelogram. So the first method was max membership principle. Here we see which is the max peak, and that particular point will be your x star. X star is nothing but your defuzzified value, right? So here if you see there is a unique peak, so we select that particular peak, so whichever is the unique peak. Then the next method is the centroid method, where we by using this particular formula we try to find out, and we will see there will be a little bit difference between this x star and the previous x star. It will be little bit shifted in this particular thing. So if you see here, it's not exactly at that particular max peak point, it's little bit over here. And by using this particular formula we will going to determine this also works on the output image, and the first method also works on the output image. Then we saw the weighted average method. Weighted average method works on the output graph, but both the graph should be symmetrical. Okay, the shape should be symmetrical. So if we have this kind of shapes, so it will work on this kind in this particular kind of shape where we are having the weights, and we directly multiply the weights with the middle point. Okay, so for example the first graph is a middle point a point 0.5 plus zero point 0.8 into b divided by zero point 0.5 plus zero point 0.8. So in this way we try to determine. Then we saw mean max membership. So here in mean max membership, we directly go over there, and if you see in this particular graph, there is no unique point. Okay, there is no one unique peak point. Here we are having multiple points, right? So it's not unique, infinite points are there. So we can select the first point and last point, and we can take the average of that particular thing. So extra will come somewhere over here. Now let's look at the next method, that is center of sums method. So center of sums method, here also we have the integration part in this particular method also. So let's see. This method employs the algebraic sum of the individual fuzzy subset. Okay, just see carefully because it will work on the individual fuzzy subset. So it will not work on what the output fuzzy set. In fact, it will work on the input fuzzy subset. So this method employs the algebraic sum of the individual fuzzy subset instead of their union. Okay, the calculation here are very fast, but the main drawback is that the intersecting areas are added twice. So, and the defuzzified value x star is given by, so this is the formula where we have the integration over x summation of I from 1 to n mu c of I x dx upon x I equal to 1 to n mu c of I x dx. So it's nothing but the formula is somewhat similar over there, but here we have the integration. Okay, there we were not having the integration. We had the integration, but summation was not there. So just write down the formula, then I'll explain. And then this figure below illustrates the center of sums method. In center of sums method, the weights are the areas of the respective membership function, whereas in the weighted average method, the weights are the individual membership values. Now let's see from the graph. For example, suppose we are having these two graphs. Okay, first one this one and the second one this one. Now the final graph is like this. So this will be the superimposed graph if we try to do, and this is the shaded area, okay, which will be the intersection point. If you see here, if we join both the graphs, and if we want to take only the outer boundary, this will be the outer boundary, but if we extend this one, this will be the intersected area. So in this particular method, what happens, we directly apply the formula on this area input set, and on this particular input set we try to calculate the area of this one and this one, then we try to divide by that number of areas and all. So but in this particular problem, what will happen if we try to calculate the area of this shape? So the total area will be till here, okay, till 8. Then again we will try to calculate the area of this one, right? And we will add both the areas together. So if we will calculate this area also, this area is like this. So if you see here, the intersected point, this area intersected secting area is going to, we will going to add 2 times, because first time we will calculate the entire area of this one. So this area is also calculated. Then the next time we will calculate the area of this one. So again, this particular area will be calculated, right? So this area is getting added twice in this particular method. So this is the problem. Okay, in this method, the intersecting area gets added twice. So this one thing is there. But anyway, this method works directly on the input graph, where we directly take the areas of each and every graph and we sum it together, right? And we multiply it by what? Your x, that will be your mean. Okay, so we multiply area with the your x bar, and then we sum with all the areas, and then we divide by the summation of all the areas. Here that x term is not there in the denominator. Okay, that x term is not there. Anyway, we'll be solving, when we will solve the problem, we will understand it clearly. But if you see here from here, what we are actually doing, we are first we are calculating the areas, multiplying by that x variable. One x variable will be there, which will be determining, and then we are dividing by all the areas. And the idea is what, if we try to understand from the graph, so we will first calculate the area of this one, then we will add with this particular area. Okay, when we will calculate the area of this one, we will multiply it by see, from example 0 to 8 it's there. So what I'll do, I'll 8 divided by 2. So 4 will be 0 plus 8 divided by 2. So somewhere 4, it will be the middle point. I'll multiply this particular area by 4. Plus, again, I'll take out this middle point, okay, from this 0 point. Okay, from 0 point, I will take out the distance of this particular middle point, and I'll multiply by this area, the entire area, and then I'll sum it together. Then I'll divide by the area of this one plus area of this one. But the problem in this particular method is what, when I'll calculate the area of first graph, so this part area is also calculated, and when we will try to sum with the second area, again this area is getting added. So the area of both the shapes, the intersecting area is getting added twice. So just note down the formula, and remember this method works on individual fuzzy subsets. So this method employs the algebraic sum of the individual fuzzy subsets instead of their union. But the idea is what, the calculation is fast because we directly see the input graph and we directly start working on that. Okay, no need to first make the final graph and then go and do the problem based on the final graph. So here directly we see the input graph and then we try to calculate. And remember this drawback. The main drawback is that the intersecting areas are added twice. All of you please keep one scale, and obviously not required pencil, but one scale should be there so that you can draw proper lines, and we will be solving the problems. Okay. And if you want, you can have the calci also. All of you completed?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you can draw these two graph. mark here X star. First one is the first graph, second input graph, and this C is your the final graph which we normally make. So let's go to the next one. Center of largest area. So the center of largest area. So this method can be adopted when output consists of at least two convex fuzzy subsets. Okay. Just remember this method can be applied when the output consists of at least two convex fuzzy subsets, which are not overlapping. Okay, and the output in this case is biased towards a side of one membership function when the output fuzzy set has at least two convex region. Then the center of gravity of the convex fuzzy subregion having the largest area used to obtain the defuzzified value x star. And the formula is given like this: x star is equal to integration of mu c of ix into x dx upon integration of only the mu c ix dx. So x is not there in the denominator. Write down this formula and then we'll see. Finished?
1 minute, sir.
Okay.
So if everyone is done, we can move ahead to the diagram.
Yeah. So if you see here, we are having this output diagram, okay? And so from this particular diagram, it's clear that there was one figure. I mean, one small area is there, and this is the some bigger area is there. So what is the name is what center of largest area method. So basically in this particular method, we try to see which is the largest area and then we try to select the center of that particular area. Okay, so from the figure it's clear that this area is larger than this particular area, so we will going to select the center of this particular area. This is what the idea.
So what is written above? Figure below illustrates the.
Illustrates the center of largest area,
Okay, sir.
where Ci is the convex sub-region. That okay, yeah. One more thing which I wanted to tell you, that if you see here, this method can be adopted when the output consists of at least two convex fuzzy subsets. So if you see here, this is one convex, okay, then there is one deep and one more convex is there. So this method can be adopted when at least two convex is there, right? So this is one and this one is the second. The two convex areas are there. Finished?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Oh.
sir.
So now last method is first of maxima, or in bracket last of maxima. So in this particular method, for example, suppose this is a graph is there, okay? So what we do in this particular method, either we select the first of maxima or last of maxima. So for example, in this particular graph, if you see, we have selected the last of maxima, and from this particular, the maxima, we try to select the x star point from the area which is having the largest area, or the last of maxima. So it can be before, it can be at the end. You can select first of maxima or the last of maxima. So just draw the graph so that you will remember, and we'll go and solve the problem.
So the definition of
So this method uses the overall output or union of all the individual. So this is also based on output. Hello. Yeah. हाँ बोलिए. किस चीज का मैंने डाला था, शायद ये था, नेस्ले का, ये था, मिल्क मेड शायद था, राइट. चिली ग्रीन. एक मैडम, मैं जरा अभी लेक्चर में, वापस आप जरा कॉल करें 1 घंटे बाद. हाँ प्लीज. एक्चुअली आई वॉज इन लेक्चर. तो मैं एक बार अपना वाइफ से बात करके मैं जरा आपको बताता हूँ क्या क्या था एग्जैक्टली. तो मुझे जरा टाइम दीजिए, बिकॉज मैं अभी लेक्चर में था 1:30 तक. अब चलेगा चलेगा आप, या फिर मैं आपके नंबर पे मैसेज करता हूँ मुझे क्या क्या मिला और क्या नहीं मिला. ओके. अच्छा, ये नंबर नहीं है आपका? 1 मिनट हाँ सर, बोलिए नंबर. 93260424 तो एक भी वापस से सुनिए, 93260424 हाँ ठीक है. अमित, ओके ठीक.
sir, can you just say what is written in the formula?
This formula,
Yes, sir.
okay, let's see. So here what we do, initially the maximum height in the union is found, okay. So that is found by using height function, where we find out the supermum of CIX, the whole area, okay, we see over here, and we try to find out which is the max height by using this particular concept, supermum of CI of X, where the SUP, this SUP is the supermum, okay, that is what least upper bound. It's a least upper bound. So this is the formula, height of CI equal to supermum of Ci of x.
Okay, sir.
Okay, and then this formula is there. Then the first of maxima is found. X star is equal to infinity. X belongs to capital X. In bracket it's written x belong to capital X such that mu c of I x equal to height of Ci, where infimum is INF is the infimum, that is the greatest lower bound. Okay, so this is related to your the discrete structure concept, that is least upper bound and greatest lower bound. So we try to determine that. In short, I'll try to explain you that we first see whichever is the maxima or the minima. Okay, based on that we can also select based on minima also. But in this particular, if the name is like first of maxima or last of maxima, so we will see first which one is the maxima. If we decide, or if we try to decide which is the last of maxima, so in this two figure we have decided that we will go with the last of maxima. So this is the maxima, and from here we are trying to select. So in short, this is the trick. You can refer this notes later. Okay, don't write over here. Let's go to the problem. Okay, one more thing. Whether this diagram you have it drawn?
No, sir, not yet.
Okay, draw this one. Done.
Yes, sir. But I didn't get what this method does. So can you just explain again?
So in this particular method also we try to find out the x star. Okay, and as we see, the name is what, first of maxima or last of maxima. Okay, so if we compare the first method, I mean this particular method, this method, what we do, we select the center of largest area method. So we try to find out which is the largest area, and directly we see the center of that particular area, it will become the x star. Okay, and here one more thing is there. This graph should have at least two convex, no, convex point. Okay, so if you see here, in this particular, one convex is there, in the second also one convex is there. So this kind of graph must be there. If you see this particular, here what we see in this particular method, we try to find out based on our, I mean our convenience, whether we can select the first of maxima also, or we can select the last of maxima, right? So if we are trying to select the last of maxima, so uh, I mean this is the last area which is the maximum. From this particular area we try to find out which is the max height is
Okay,
there.
sir.
We try to select that particular point as x star. Yeah, so it's up to you whether you want to select, if the, I mean if first is there or the last is there. If the first is there, the max one, then you can select that point also. Now, how to remember all this? Now you will have to remember the formula also. So I'll just tell you one thing. Okay, so just write this statement, whether it's visible, all of, just wait. Okay, now whether it's visible.
Yes, sir.
So write this, combine MP, underline this MP, combine MP, CM, CM, C for cat, CM, weight, weight, underline CM also.
So after wait, do we have to write all this?
Yeah, this one. Combine MP, CM, weight, and take mean underline for COS, cos and cola firm. Cos and cola firm. Firm also underline. FIR is underlined. FIR is underlined. COS underline. COLA cola underline. Finished? Now let's see why I made this particular statement. To remember all these seven methods. Okay, so why I made this, because this MPs and MLAs, you know, right? So this is MP and CM. This is Chief Minister. So MPs and CM. So what I have written, combine MP CM weight and take mean for cos and cola firm. So what I wanted to say is, see what these politicians they do. They normally open the any firm, okay, and then they try to divide whatever cream is coming from that particular firm, right? So it's like this only. I made the statement, combine MP CM weight and take mean for cos and cola firm. Now, so if you remember this particular statement, now how to find out all this method. So MP is nothing but max membership principle. Okay, MP is nothing but max membership principle. CM is centroid method. Weight is weighted average method. Weighted average method. Mean is mean max membership. Mean max membership. Cos is center of sums. Center of sums. Cola is center of largest area. Center of largest area, and firm FIR is first of maxima, last of maxima. First of maxima, last of maxima. Combine MP CM weight and take mean for cos and cola firm. Okay. So now remember, note down these two. So if in any name, if any method name, sum and average is coming, okay, sum and average is coming, then there will be in the formula, there will be summation sign. This is summation sign actually. Summation sign. It's summation. Please mark properly. It's summation. And if in the name centroid is there, comma center is there, comma area is there, centroid, comma center, comma area, then integration is there. Then in the formula, integration will be there. If sum, comma average is there, then summation. If centroid, center, or area is there, then integration. So for example, this you finished writing, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So for example, let's see this one, a centroid method. So centroid word is there, right? By using this statement, we'll be able to list out all the methods. Then for writing the formula, I'm sure you all will be remembering the formula, but if to avoid the confusion, if we see the name, centroid is there. So for centroid, there is a integrations in the formula, there will be integration. So if you see this particular centroid, there is an integration is involved. Now, if we see the second, the next method, weighted average method. So in this average is there. So I'm sure there will be a summation plus sign is there. This is simple one. Let's take some. Let's take the center of sums. The center of sum is there. Now center of sums. So let's see whether it's clashing or what. Okay. So the first name is center of sum. So actually sum is also involved over there, but first letter I'm focusing on the center of sum. So the integration is over there. Then let's check with the others. Center of largest area. Integration is there, center of largest area. Okay. Oh. Mean max is there, so mean is involved. I think one thing I forgot, that there has to be mean also. Sum, average, mean. Yeah, you can write sum, average, and mean. So there is one mean, sum, average, and mean, then summation. Anyway, but once you will read, then you will be able to remember by some way. And based on this centroid method and center of sums method, will be solving the problem also. And one problem, one part will be there, weighted average also. So anyhow, we will be solving the problem, so we will remember the method also. So let's see one problem. Whenever this problem will come, it will come for 10 marks. Okay. So write the question. Find the defuzzified output or a defuzzified value. Find the defuzzified value using first centroid method, and second center of sums method. Using first centroid method and second center of sums method. Using first centroid method and next center of sums method. Centroid method and next center of sums method. So if you see here, these three diagrams are question given. Okay, this is the first one, this is the second one, and third one. So on the question paper, it will not be given in this particular way. So first diagram will be here, second diagram will be here, third diagram will be here, right? So this is what I have solved. So I have solved in this particular way. Okay, so all of you just remember, this diagram will not be there as it is. So we have to draw the diagram in this particular way and make this as a common axis for all the diagram. Okay, and all this partition, whatever you are doing, just extend till the whole page. Okay, entire whole page. So all the diagrams will come one below the other, and for the last diagram, it will be much helpful for us. So what you can do, you can first draw this diagram. So let me tell you, this diagram is what, it's going from 0 to 0.3. This line is okay. So you can mark 0, 0.25, 0.5, 0.75, and 1. Okay, 0, 0.25, 0.5, 0.75, and 1. And on this particular axis, you can mark 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up to 9, 10. Okay, up to 10 you can mark. All of you are understanding this diagram? So on your paper, you can draw one straight vertical line, okay, whole entire vertical line, then draw like this. And whatever partition you are making, you can just stretch it till the end of your page. So multiple diagrams will come. So this is the first diagram they have given. This might they represent as A1 set, okay, or let's say set A, fuzzy set A. And remember this peak is what, 0.3, okay, so it's given like this. Let me check whether this diagram is there in the book also. Okay. Okay, do one thing. Leave 2 pages for that one. Okay, let's try to solve this problem. So in this only 2 diagrams are there. So first we'll solve this one.
So can you repeat what you just said?
Uh, See, in that particular problem, now 3 diagrams are there. So let's first start with the simple one. So in this particular, there is only 2 diagrams are there. Okay, and
Okay, sir.
so we'll start with this. But just wait for 1 minute. Just let me check whether I have the solution for this one. Otherwise, I must be having for this one. Yeah, it's the same. Okay. Yeah. So I'm
So
having for this.
should we just leave 1 or 2 page for that
two
previous
pages two
question?
pages for that particular sum, huh? Just leave
Okay,
two
sir.
pages. You
Okay,
will be
sir.
able to complete in that. Okay, so the in the question paper, because here properly question is also there. In the question paper, the questions will be like this: for the given membership function as shown in figure below, determine the defuzzified output value by, it's saying 7 method. Don't do by 7 method, just do first one by centroid method and second by center of sums method. First by centroid method and second center of sums method. And you can also have third one as weighted average method. Weighted average method. Okay, now if you see the diagram, just zoom it. The first one is like this. So they have given this graph. This line is 0.35x. This is, they have marked A1 fuzzy set. Okay, A1 and tilde sign is there. This line is 0.7.
So you may scroll down a little bit for the second diagram.
Now it's visible.
Yes, sir.
Done. So if you're not understanding, this line is x minus 2. This is a2, and this is minus 0.5x plus 3. This line is minus point x plus 3. Done. So in the question, two graphs are given like this. Now it's our responsibility to make the graph in such a way for our convenience, okay, one below the other, and then try to find out the third graph, which will be the third graph, which will be the superimposition of both the graph, that is the union of both the graph. So let's try to solve this. So what I've done here, so first method is what? Using centroid methods, and second is center of sounds method. What I've done here, first graph I've drawn like this, okay. So if we see here, if we see this particular graph, it seems that the middle point will be 2 by looking at this particular graph, but it's not like that. So graph is something like this. It's coming, this point is coming at 2, 1. So please correct this one. I mean, see, normally they don't ask this kind of problem, okay? So my motto was to explain you this also, that in the paper, whenever the university in the question paper, if they try to ask this kind of question, so there will be some or the other problem will be there in the graph, okay. So it is very difficult to have a proper points, proper equation and proper graph. For example, if you see in this particular book, this graph is given in such a way that seems that 2 is the middle point, but actually this graph is not proper. 2 is coming at this particular point, okay. So in the exam also, when if this kind of question will be asked, so we are very, I mean, the situation is very difficult that we always see whether the values and graphs are given properly or not. So till now, since I am teaching this particular subject, they have not asked problem based on that, but we are every time we teach the problem because we never know when they will going to ask. This difficulty is there, okay. So let's see now. So this graph is like this 0.35 line, then zero point 0.7, and then till 4, and 2 is somewhere coming, it's here, okay. And make this as 0.7, make this as 0.7, make this as 0.7. Okay, now what I'll be doing, I'll be extending all these lines downwards. So I'm making the second graph. Second graph is like this. It's starting from 2 up to 1, then parallel till 4, and then from 4 to 6. And the equation of this line is x minus 2. This one is minus 0.5 x plus 3, and this is 1. Draw this one, leave some one or two space, one or two line space, and then draw this particular graph. Done? All
Yes,
of you
sir.
done? Okay. Now third one is the resultant one. So how to show this? What I can do? This way. Okay. Now can you see all these images? This I have a little bit. Can you see?
Yes, sir.
This I've done in this particular paint. Okay, just to explain you. So we are having these two questions. Okay. Now what we have to do? So we have extended this line below also. So let's say the lines are like this, and we have done what 0, 1, 2, 3. This axis we have marked, and above whatever values are there. For example, in this particular second problem, we are having 0, 0.5 and 1, but in the first problem we are having 0, 0.5, 0.7. Okay, so we will mark according to that. So what I have done, divide the area 0 to 1. In between the middle part will be 0.5. Then we know about that there will be 0.7. So I marked over here 0.7. Okay, and we don't want any other point, right? Because if you see all these are here 0.5 and 0.7 is there, here also 0.5 is there. So we have marked those areas 0, 0.5, 0.7 and 1. Please mark that. Okay, below of this particular graph. So you can draw like this. See how I've drawn. This is first graph, then second, then extend this and mark first 0, 0.5, 0.7 and 1. Clear? Okay. Now after that, if you see, now we will start drawing. So if you see 0 से 2 तक, just see here till 0 to 2, this second graph is not coming into picture. Okay, from 0 to 2 second graph is not coming into it. What you can do, one more thing is there. What you can do, you can draw both the graphs together. Then after that, just select the outer boundaries. Okay, and whatever the inner boundaries are there, you can remove. So you will get this particular graph like this. You will get this graph. So for example, if I draw this graph fully over here, so it will be like this. First, this one, and here I have drawn this shaded, dotted line. So it will be here. Then again, I'll draw this particular graph. So it will be like this. And then whichever is the outer boundary at the end. So outer boundary is this one. Then from here, this one. Then here. So I'll draw that part and remove the further parts. Okay, inner boundaries. So I'll be getting only the outer boundaries. So in this way also you can easily draw, or if you want to draw directly, so it's clearly visible. Just see here from 0 to 2 only this particular line is there. Okay, and it's going till 2 only. So till 2 there is nothing is there. So I'll draw this line first, and this 0.35x line is going till 0.7. So I'll draw this line 0 to 0.7. This first line is there. Okay, this line is there. Now after that, what is happening? After that, from there, from 0.7, one line is coming parallel to this x-axis at 0.7. So obviously from here I'll draw this particular line, but I know what from between 2 and 3, between 2 and 3, and this line is what between 2 and 3 only. So between 2 and 3 there is one line from the second graph, it's going towards the upward direction till 1. Okay, so this line, okay, this line is going upward direction till 1, and I know that from point 7, from this particular point to one line is coming parallel to this particular axis. So this line is coming over here, this line is going in this particular direction, so I know somewhere here there will be intersection point. Okay, so I have drawn little bit part of this one till here, and then from this particular point I'll take the outer boundaries of this one, so I'll extend above till 1. Now this boundaries, all these boundaries will go. Now I'll be concentrating on this particular part. So now from here to till here till 4, this line is coming, it's parallel to x-axis, so I have drawn this line. Then after that there is a line, descending line from this particular point till 6. Okay, so I'm drawing that particular line from this particular point 4 to 6. Now if you see, if you try to compare the first image, okay, this is anyway it's getting inside this particular image. Okay, this is a larger image, right? So we have to select only the outer boundaries. Okay, so we are trying to draw the outer boundaries, it's going anyway inside this, so we are removing this particular part. So from here 0 to 2, then from 2 one parallel line little bit, and we know that both the this line x minus 2 and this line will intersect each other, and wherever it will intersect each other from point 7 we will drawing upward direction, and then from that this line is there, and then we are drawing this one fully. If you are able to draw this in this way directly, it's up to you. Otherwise you can draw the full diagram, okay, and then you can just remove the inner part. So it's up to you, choice is yours. But I hope, I mean, if you practice once or twice, it's very easy. Whether you understood, so I'll now show in the PDF this diagram more clearly. Okay, whether this idea is clear how to draw. If you are having any doubt, please ask me. Doesn't matter whether we are not able to solve today, but the concept should be clear whether you are able to draw this or not.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, please go ahead.
So the drawing is fine, the output image we are getting, but do we have to mark anything or only the outline? That is the answer.
You first mark this outline, I want that, and these are the steps how to solve that, so that I'll explain. Okay, you first
Okay,
try
sir,
to,
the outline here first.
yeah, so just you first draw the outline and then how to solve the problem, so it is a part of that one. So let me show you in the PDF. So basically this is a diagram. Okay, now once you got this outline, now we are solving by the first method, that is the centroid method. So what we will try to do now, we will try to divide this entire figure. Okay, we'll try to divide this entire figure into number of different shapes areas. Okay, for example, if you see this, I have marked as 1 from this particular point. This one is because I am seeing this one as a triangle. Okay, this one I am seeing as a triangle. Then the second area I have marked as what, this rectangle. Now it's up to you, it's up to you. There is no hard and fast rule. This area you should mark as a triangle, or you can also mark any other. For example, if you see the fifth one, I marked this entire area as a bigger triangle. If you want, you can mark this as a one small triangle, and this as some other area. For example, this as a rectangle. It's up to you. It's up to you how you are dividing. For example, we can mark this as a bigger square. Okay, this as one rectangle. So it's totally dependent on you. But for right now, just mark in the similar way, the way I have divided this entire area, so that we can everybody will have the common answer. Okay, and we can just verify. So the first area I marked in this way, the first triangle. Second I marked as a rectangle. Okay, this one. The third area I marked full rectangle till here, and the fifth area I marked this as a bigger triangle, and one more area is there. This is a smaller triangle over here. Okay, smaller triangle. Whether this partition is clear, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So if we completed this, time is also over. Okay, so I'll only explain now since time is also over. So one point I wanted to explain you. See these the parallel line, this one and this line are intersecting over here. So we have to find out the intersection point. Okay, we have to find out this particular intersection point. And if we will get this particular point, so we can also determine, I mean we will come to know that at which particular point on the x-axis that point is there, because we will be determining x and y coordinate. If you see, I have determined this is 2.7 and 0.7. So 2.7, that means the x coordinate, so that means over here at 2.7 this intersection point is there. Okay, so we'll come to know. And obviously the y coordinate will be 0.7 because this line is x equal to y equal to 0.7, so height will be the same, right? But what is the x point? So how to determine this intersection point, or determining the intersection point, we need the equation of both the lines. Okay, so the equation of this line is what? Y equal to 0.7. Let me show you. Okay, so y equal to 0.7. This is one equation. And the second equation is what? Somebody tell me the equation of that line, the bigger line. I'm telling, okay, this line. X minus, sorry, this line and this line. Okay, so this is what? Y equal to x minus 2. Clear? This is the second line. Y equal to x minus 2, right? So I'll take this one. Y equal to x minus 2. This is the second equation. Now I am having two equations. I want to determine x and y coordinate. Clear? So what I can do, I can substitute this value in this particular equation, right? So let's substitute 0.7 equal to x minus 2. So x will be what? 2.7, right? So for these two lines, I got the x and y coordinate. X coordinate is 2.7 and 2.7, and y coordinate is what? 0.7. Okay, I got both the points. Whether you understood how to determine this intersection point, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So then what I did, I marked over there, okay, this point 2.7 and 0.7. Then we have the equation of this line also, but wherever the intersection is there, that intersection point which we must determine. That's it. Okay. Now you just keep ready this thing, and then we will solve next time. Okay, the further method, because one big table we will make, and then we will try to fill that particular table. But till here you just clear, and next time you should be ready with this particular figure. Okay, so we will not going to draw this. I want this particular figure. Okay, and then we'll, based on this, we'll be solving it. Clear, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now you all must be having the project. So what I want, you all can leave, only my group should be there. Okay, so that I can discuss few things, and all can leave. My
Thank
project
you, sir.
group, yeah, my project group should be there, and all rest all can leave. And Mandar, please send me the attendance letter. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Bye. So whether my all groups are there? Okay, Daryl.
So in which group are we? 85, 86, and 84.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I wanted to call you also. Okay, because we have not finalized your this thing title, right?
Okay, yes, sir.
Yeah. So okay, so you got the paper, right? Paper you got?
So which paper?
Paper regarding your project. I mean the title.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The link, right?
So what is the name of that paper? Title?
Data analytics of stock market price movements with Python.
Okay, data analytics of stock
Uh,
price
uh,
movement.
yeah, with Python.
Okay, okay. And that paper is from which journal?
It's from Springer Matthew McCarthy. Something.
Okay, okay, okay. So we'll keep the same name. Okay, data analytics of stock now. So you can say data analytics of script. Okay,
Script.
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 Normally we say stock. Another name is script. SCRIP. Okay, or
Okay.
financial instrument also we can say, right?
Yes, sir.
Data analytics of financial instrument by using Python, right?
You're
Now
right.
in that financial instrument, what data you are analyzing, whether it's a stock or whether it's a mutual fund or whether it's of a debt fund. Okay, so that's the different matter, but we are generalizing the name. Clear?
Okay.
Okay, so you can take this particular name, and so you four are there, right? You just mail me with that paper, okay, and your all the group members name, their contact number, okay, and their
Okay, sir.
email ID, right? So
Right.
just mail me and I'll make your group. Your group probably will be the last group. So, and I'll assign one staff to you.
Okay, sir.
And then henceforth, you will be meeting that particular staff. Clear?
Yes, sir.
And in between, whenever you need any help, you can always contact me. Okay?
Okay, okay.
Yeah. So I'll be there to guide you. And you all share your number also. Huh? Just write your number in that mail.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So you got the idea now. You have to mail me along with your paper. And then after this the next part will be what you have to make one abstract, okay,
Abstract and
regarding it.
details. Yes, sir.
Yeah, and
Right.
whatever documents you'll be making now, you should make in latex.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so just mail me, then I'll inform, I mean I'll suggest you further. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, so you can leave now. Okay, so let's see other groups. Self-driving car using IoT and machine learning. So Aman Sharma, Dion and Boris, are you there?
Sir, Aman is not there. I and Boris are there.
Okay. Yeah, so tell me
Aman will
whether
be
you
back in
prepare.
5 minutes.
Okay, okay, no issue. Tell me whether you prepared the abstract last time. I mean, abstract is
Yes.
ready.
No, sir, not yet actually.
Okay. So please make this abstract today. Okay.
Okay,
Make
sir.
this ready. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
You understood now how to make the abstract. If you see the paper, abstract part is there. Okay.
Okay,
So
sir.
it's regarding your project. What is your project and description about your project. So you can see any paper there is a abstract section is there. In that way, you have to make the abstract, but make that abstract in LaTeX.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Yeah. And anything else? What you've done till now? So you have to do the literature survey. Okay, you have to read the multiple papers and you have to collect the information regarding your project. Okay, from the different sources.
Okay, sir.
So basically, that's I mean, we should be in a position to write at the end the survey paper. That means we have gathered all the information regarding our project, and then we can publish at the end a survey paper based on our project. That in this particular paper regarding this, it was written like this. In the other paper, it was written like this. This can be done in different methods like this. Okay, so all the information regarding our project
Okay, sir.
and all those information, and then simply I mean first step will be to gather all the information and then moving ahead towards the block diagram and the flow charts. Okay, what will be the block diagram and the flow charts for our program, our project will be there. So slowly we'll move in that particular direction, and then finally the implementation diagram, and then we will go for the implementation uh, no implementation step.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
so okay. So today, entire day, you all do this abstract part and go for the literature survey. Make the literature survey ready. Okay. Try to write one paper so that it will have the information regarding your no related to your project. Okay. And wherever in whichever resources you are getting the other papers like Springer paper or Science Direct or IEEE, gather all the information and just try to make one paper. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And yeah, what about the next one? Next is yeah, music generation using LSTM and GAN.
Hello?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, sir. Sir, I sent you the paper on WhatsApp, I
Okay.
guess 1 week back, the review paper which we did.
Okay. So you already you didn't publish now. I stopped you, right?
Yes, sir. We haven't published it yet.
Okay. So in that paper, you included all the information regarding your this thing. I mean, the information regarding your project, how you'll be doing, and in the other paper, in what method, by what method it has been done, what are the different methods available, all these
Sir.
kinds of.
So in this paper only we have shown what are the different methods we have done.
Okay.
So once we have finished doing our project, उसके बाद we'll do how we have done the project. ना इस paper में we have only shown what are the different methods which are done
Right.
currently.
Right. Right. So now what I'll do, I'll read your paper, okay, and then in 10-15 minutes I'll just talk to you, okay,
Okay, sir.
and then we'll go ahead whether to publish that paper or not, okay.
Okay, sir.
And but that paper you are planning to publish in where, in IEEE,
Sir,
where,
that we have not decided yet. वो
because
बस
survey
check
paper,
करना था.
yeah, because survey paper I don't think they will accept, okay, and they will
Okay,
not
sir.
publish also. So some other journal we have to find out, and there we have to publish the
Okay, sir.
survey kind of paper, okay, because
Okay,
most
sir.
probably the IEEE, Science Direct, and this one Springer, they want the results, so there should be result table and some practical application should be there, okay, then they accept this kind of paper,
Okay, sir.
okay. So that we will see, and what some other modification is there, I'll just read the paper, go through the paper, and then I'll talk to you, okay.
Okay, sir. No problem.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so next group is self-driving is over. Then yeah, audio caption generation from images using deep learning. Atharva, Abdul and Adris. Anybody's there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So tell me whether abstract is ready.
Yes, sir. Abstract is ready. We'll mail it to you today.
Okay. And whether you were hearing what I was telling to other groups, so we have to move towards the literature survey. Okay, we have to, yeah. So we have to make one survey paper kind of thing. Okay, so that we can gather all the information regarding our project. Okay, wherever we are finding the related information, we will combine all those information in one paper, and we try to make as a survey paper, so that at least regarding our subject we'll be having the full information. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So just go ahead in that particular direction. Okay. And
Yeah.
yeah. And all are there. All members are there, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So just mail me that abstract, and then you proceed in that particular direction. Okay, of the literature survey paper. Okay. Okay, then we'll talk later.